But I bring attention to my mouth in any way that I can, and a lot of the times that means touching my mouth and showing them how my lips look or my tongue looks while I make that sound. But back to the regular programming, I want them to imitate, or I want them to be exposed to that much repetition of a +1 sound if it's not a word. That can be really, really helpful. If your child is babbling ba 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 ba, you can do the +1 rule by adding a syllable or adding a consonant to make it a word. So they're going ba ba ba, I say ba t ba t ba t. It doesn't have to be contextual or applicable to what's going on in their life at the moment. It's just seeing if you can get them to get another sound to come out of their mouth. And that is growth, people. That is growth. Alrighty, so with that, we are summing up our 5 tips. I hope that that was super helpful for you. I really want you to know that there's so much more I can teach you. This is just a little bit of an intro into what speech language therapists do, what we do when we come to your homes or when your child comes to see us. All of those things are likely going on at the exact same time, even though you might not even see them. But there's so many other things that we look for and that we teach and that we practice while we're with your child. And there's a lot more that I can teach you. So, this being said, I would highly encourage you to try one of those tips a day or one of those tips at a time and try to get used to them until you feel confident doing them. Once you feel confident doing them, do them again with an additional one. So take the modeling and add a narration to it. And then take the narrating and now start repeating everything you're saying too. All of those things are really important, and the more that you practice them, the more they'll get comfortable for you. Trust me, at first, sometimes it's really hard. Some people pick it up like it's nothing, but a lot of people have a really hard time with this, and it is difficult to change the way that you talk to your child when you're so used to talking to them like they're almost an adult or like they're a little baby. Okay, so if you want more of this, I have more for you, and I would love to see you be a part of my course. Alrighty, guys, we are about done. If you want more information, I would love to see you join my course and be involved within our little community of parents working on this with their children. It is so, so great, and it's so great to have a team that supports you while you go through this. So, my course is honestly, it is filled with over 5 hours of content, 5 hours of information and tips and progress for you. We go over basic milestones for your child on top of what the 10th percentile is that you will see generally posted everywhere. I go over basic averages for you. I also go over what it takes to notice when a child might be likely to have a disorder or when you should really consider going to a speech language pathologist and how to differentiate the two. And we also do talk about the 11 prerequisite skills that are all, and they're all explained within the course as well. And there's examples as to how to do them with your child and how to practice them. All of that and more is packaged into one thing. And by purchasing this, you now have a little bit of a discount to get that course. And by being a purchaser of this masterclass, you have a little bit of a heads up in the program, but you also are missing out on a lot of really great information that you can help get your child started with. And it really only takes a couple minutes a day, people. Really only does. But through the course, I will directly coach you on all of these methods plus way more and how to do them specifically with your child and how to practice them in a way that you feel comfortable. It'll be brought down to an easier level to imitate me, and to be able to do with your child over time. I would absolutely love to see you as a part of this with us, and I'm so grateful that you were here today. So thanks for checking it out, and we will be in touch. I hope to see you around, and make sure if you liked this training, please leave me a review. Please let me know what you thought. Please send me an email. It is Courtney.Speech THX for therapy, which is the abbreviation of therapy, courtney.Speech@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And don't be a stranger. You can find me on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. And hopefully, you can also find me find me on Clapper as well. And hopefully on many other social medias as they come about. But I would love to have you as a friend on any of them if you are interested and if you like my content. And please feel free to always leave me comments, send me a message, let me know what you like, what you dislike, what you want more of. I'm here to learn with you, and I'm doing this for you guys. So let me know how I can best help you. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for being here. This is Courtney.Speech signing off. Love y'all. Bye. Oh my goodness, and I nearly forgot something. But I do want you to know that there are a lot of skills that a child needs in order to learn to speak and talk and communicate language, whether that is with their voice or with their hands or with an AAC device. There's a lot of things here. So, something you need to know is that there are 11 skills, like I talked about and I do have a series on this, and it is also talked about in my big course. But I do want you to know a couple of them. If your child is not imitating you, they are not going to imitate your speech. What this looks like is that they need to imitate you and actions first. So, do they imitate when you clap? Do they imitate when you pat your head? Do they imitate you pretending to sneeze? Anything, whether it's fun, silly. Do they imitate you picking your nose up, making silly faces? All of those things are important. They need to imitate actions, and they need to imitate actions with objects. This also usually is then brought into they need to imitate any sort of sound you make, and then it becomes speech or language. But that is just one of the many skills that your child needs to have before they talk. So if you try these things out and they don't seem to work for you, and you try them and you do them and you practice them a couple times a week at the least, and you do not see progress in your child, do they have these skills? They need to have those 11 skills before, and they need to be doing them regularly before they are getting ready to communicate and talk. After that, if your child is not talking still, there is a sign that is a sign that something else could be going on. Another sign that something else can be going on is that if your child regresses, so they had a lot of words and then they start to lose them. That is not typical. That is not something that you should see. So if you do notice that in your child, it is something to bring up to your doctor right away, and please do not allow yourself to be dismissed by it. Because I wish I could say every doctor was great or every speech language pathologist was great, but unfortunately that's just not the case. It's not the world we live in. But if you are ever feeling like something is wrong, you trust your gut. Most of the time, if not all the time, parents are right, and way more right than doctors or specialists or experts can be. So keep that in mind. If your child is not doing any of those skills, starts to regress, or after a while you do not start to see progress in them in the ways that you hoped, I would encourage you to look into early intervention or look into private speech therapy. However you do it, it does not matter, but I would encourage you to get a second opinion, and a second opinion to your own or to professionals that you've already seen, and get them evaluated to see if there's something else that you're missing. There are also things that could contribute to why your child is not talking that are a little bit more medical and or oral motor, and that it's how their mouth moves and their ability to move it, or how their brain passes the signal to their brain. All of those things can impact the way that your child learns language or is beginning to talk, as well as developmental disorders or things that your child could have been born with, such as like Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, lots of things. And a lot of these things you would notice, but some you might not until a later age. But it is things to keep in mind and to educate yourself on if you're at all nervous. And please know that I am not here to scare you. I am here to give you the cold hard facts and give you as much information that I possibly can in as short of a time span that I can. And I am only one person. I am a human. I make mistakes, but I try to be as evidence-based and as backed up by the research and the most updated research as I can be. But please note that I am still learning, and I will always be learning my entire life. And if there's any professional that says to you that they aren't, that is hooey. You should always be learning if you are in a medical field, in my opinion. Though, so if you ever notice anything that you think I could improve on, I would love to hear it from you. But I just wanted to make sure that you had those 2 bits of information too as we move forward. But I wish you all the best, and thank you again for being here.